Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. Y'all, I'm excited because I want to go ahead and give you guys some updates on some of these housewives. First things first, Mia Thornton. All right, so Mia Thornton of Real Housewives of Potomac, she went on to her boyfriend's podcast. Now, I don't know whether to call the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, the father of one of her children. The world may never know, right? But she went on to his podcast and she's talking about the fact that she really wants to move to Atlanta and be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's watch.
What's the origin of this tweet? What you had going on?
I mean, did you see the premiere?
I did.
Oh my gosh, the girls are coming in hot and they're slaying the aesthetics, the way that they were showing ATL, the way the girls were showing up, they look good. I just felt like they liked each other. They looked like they were real friends. I'm like, I want to be a part of the real friend crew. You know what I mean? And they a little shady. Like, I was catching the shade, but it was cute shade, like real girlfriend shade, right? I was like, all right, my kind of girl. Like, all right, I love ATL, always have. You know what I mean? I love being down here with you. I love the city. I love the food. I love the people. Like, ATL shows so much love, and it's like, it's so artsy here. It's like, they're creatives. Like, back home in DC is real political. Y'all know I don't do politics, okay? Keep me out of that circle, right? Art and entertainment, that I can do.
All right, so let me know how y'all feel about the situation in the comments down below. Would you like to see Mia Thornton on to the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Now, listen, for me, I kind of feel like she might mesh well with the Britt Eddies and the Kellys and the Portias and the Angelas and some of those girls, Shamia Morton and what have you. However, I can go without it. Okay, we've been seeing her storyline play out, onto the TV screen as far as Potomac is concerned, and I don't care to see it again. Like, it's just kind of like, I like Mia, she's a nice woman, but I never got to hear Gordon. I don't ever have to hear about Gordon Inc. Or Jacqueline ever again in my life. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything. Now, also on her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, father of one of her children's podcast, she talked about the fact that she left the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion because she was, one, exhausted. Her feet were hurting. She had been there and working for 10 hours. And she was disclosed from beating the brakes off of Gizelle Bryant, all right? Remember, Gizelle Bryant was the one talking about how she was acting like a bad mother all season for perpetuating this, paternity storyline, talking about how her boyfriend, Inc., could be the father, when really we knew the whole time that it was Gordon. Even though Gordon did bring it up to the cameras, but then you went along with the shit. When you could have nipped it in the bud talking about something, no, that's Gordon's child. Y'all, let's watch.
Okay, that's good. Why did you walk out the reunion?
Child, because no one had time to be sitting there talking about all that crazy mess. And plus, my feet were hurting. I had enough. I had enough. Like, legit, I wanted to take that dress off. Yeah. I couldn't breathe. My feet were hurting. We had been sitting there. A lot of people don't realize that we filmed the reunions for like 14 hours. It was like hour 10. Okay? Like.
Or think that you're still at, but using it as a reference. Mm-hmm. So for knowing you 20 plus years, in any other type of situation,
I was about to knock the brakes off our head, right? You know that, right? We seen that happen.
Allegedly.
This just shaking the table. Okay, why would you go knock her out? Let's talk about it.
So when the growth was to exit.
Yes.
And let's be real. Okay, can we talk about it?
Yeah.
And I'm a name drop. Gizelle knows daggone well that she would not speak to me that way if there was no security and not the platform. She would get her head knocked off by anybody talking to anybody that way. So the fact that I got up and I was being the bigger woman and I exit left, that, let's just be real. Like, who's being real here? She's like, you're not out here talking to people like that. You're being a fake. You're phony. You're doing it because of what's going around. So,
to be honest, I'm not a fan of the whole lying and stuff like that. And it is kind of annoying when she lies about the paternity, or I don't even know if she's lying, but the whole storyline with the paternity, and then, her being with the boyfriend and then not being with the boyfriend, her divorcing the husband, but then not divorcing the husband. Like, it's all a bit too much for me. But I never really understood why the women down there at the reunion were so upset about it. Like, yes, it's annoying if you feel like she's lying about her entire life and her entire storyline, but I'm just trying to figure out what that got to do with shoot. What does that have to do with you? Okay. We can talk about you too. Anyways, y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation in the comments down below. Speaking of housewives, Annemarie Wiley. Do y'all know this lady? Okay, wait. Do y'all know her? Okay. The lady in pink, her name is Annemarie Wiley. Okay, she is a former Real Housewife of Beverly Hills, a one-season wonder, a one and done. The biggest flop to ever hit Bravo TV airwaves. Okay, she's married to Marcellus, I think is how you pronounce it, Wiley. I believe he is a former NFL player. Now, both of these folks are problematic for different reasons, but we gonna, get on Annemarie first, and then we gonna get on the husband second. Okay, so Annemarie thought that she was real cute by going on Fox News 2 weeks ago, talking about how the Democratic Party left her and how she was canceled because of her stance on trans women in sports. Yo, what the hell is going on?
It's happening again. The state of California has convinced another lifelong Democrat to switch parties and join the GOP. Let's bring in former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star and nurse anesthesiologist Annemarie Wiley. Annemarie, it's great to have you on the show. You're making it very clear in this change that the Democratic Party left you. You did not leave the Democratic Party.
That is exactly correct, Trace. The Democratic Party left me. I did not leave the Democratic Party, or what you just said.
Right.
I'm Canadian. I was a lifelong Democrat. I voted for Joe Biden in 2020, and it wasn't until this election cycle that everything changed for me. I was vilified, silenced, and then canceled for my opposition to transgender females participating in women's sports.
Okay. I didn't even have to listen to the rest because I just felt like that was stupid to even bring up. And I know you went to school, and I know you're a nurse anesthesia. Y'all know what the fuck I'm trying to say, okay? Anesthesiologist, nurse, anesthetician. I think that's how you say it. So you're smart. You're into science and medicine, and, I'm sure you're good with numbers. So the fact that you would even be so concerned with the trans women in sports is quite surprising to me. Because let me give y'all a stat. 0.6% of those ages 13 and older identify as transgender in the United States. Less than 1%, 0.6%, which means out of that 0.6%, how many of those are athletes? That is a very, 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 very small group of people. Okay? Most people in this country will never even meet a trans person or be friends with a trans person. So the fact that you are so concerned about the 0.2% of trans people that might be competing in a women's sport, I just feel like it's silly when most of us, I would bet 99.999% of us don't even know a trans woman that plays sports. I mean, I'm just saying. So the fact that Annemarie Wiley is talking about she was canceled for her stance on the trans people, I just kind of feel like, well, sis, first off, you would have to have, something to cancel in order to be canceled. Because what are we boycotting? Like the hospital you work at? I mean, to be honest, if I was going under and I needed surgery and your face popped up, I would be like, I don't want MAGA, putting me under. Get somebody else to do it. Okay. Ain't that what she do? I don't know. Anyways, y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation. She's silly. And, I felt bad for her because I feel like she didn't really get a fair shake onto the Housewives. But I'm happy that everything worked out just how it needed to be because I see now that she's a silly rabbit. And her husband is even more gross. We did find out earlier today that there are these 2 new lawsuits from 2 women from his past, Marcellus's past, and they are alleging that back when he attended Columbia University in the mid-90s, that he sexually assaulted these 2 women. Okay? Told one of them to stop fighting the feeling. Relax, stop fighting the feeling. That's weird. Trigger warning, by the way, my bad. But, these 2, they're weird. y'all have something weird going on. It's weird. It's real weird. And you know, Annemarie, you should be thanking your lucky stars that you were a 1-season wonder, that you were the biggest flop on Bravo TV. Because if you would have made it to a second season and we would have found all of this out, we already knew that the husband had his stuff going on. We already knew about the rumblings and the accusations and stuff like that. Okay. And then you going after Garcelle talking about using the race card, coupled with the fact that we know that you're MAGA, that you're a Trump supporter, that you are a Trump voter. Oh, baby, I would have been lighting your ass up every week on this platform. I am so happy that you got your pink slip. I am so happy that they said to the left, since you had nothing to contribute to the season except for talking about Sutton's esophagus like the silly person you are. Moving right along. Y'all know my favorite pastime is just dragging the hell out of MAGA. Okay. I could do this in my sleep. Okay, moving right along. Tyler Perry.
Y'all gotta forgive me because I'm angry at the way she was treated. I did not know all the things that she was going through. Recently, I found out because I'm not on Instagram. I'm not being hooked and manipulated by an algorithm telling me what to think and how to feel. So I don't see everything.
Okay, pause. What does that have to do with anything pertaining to Angie Stone's life or death? Why is you bringing up the fact that you are not controlled by an algorithm that is Instagram? Honey, we don't care.
But to think that this woman was in the business for all of these years, and there's a difference between performing because you want to and performing because you have to. All of those years, all of those songs, all of that money that was owed to her, where is it? It's wrong. It is wrong. And I'm tired of seeing us struggle and go through things and work hard and not reap the benefits of what we were supposed to reap.
Okay, now that I do agree with. Okay, I don't care that you feel like you're not mind controlled by Instagram. I don't care that you don't subscribe to an algorithm. But you speaking up on her behalf, well, now that she's gone, unfortunately, you know, about the mistreatment from the music industry and why does she, why didn't she benefit? You know, what is it? Why didn't she reap what she sowed and all of those things? Yes, I agree with that. Yes. Monique agrees with it too, but she says, Tyler Perry, you're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. You'll preach it, but it's not in your actions. Okay. And so she went on to the Instagrams and basically called out, Tyler Perry over his remarks, of course, at Angie Stone's funeral, talking about how can you condemn poor treatment when you've imposed the same on me? Okay. She said, I recently watched your heartfelt speech at Angie Stone's funeral, but it also made us reflect on some unsettling discrepancies in your actions toward me. Now, who is us? But it also made us reflect, okay? Because, Monique never speaks for herself. And, her husband never speaks for himself. They are always speaking for the both of them, okay? It made us reflect on some unsettling discrepancies in your actions toward me. She pointed out how Perry went the hell in about the unpaid royalties regarding Angie Stone, right? But Monique says, you asked, where's the money she's owed? Where's the money that Angie Stone is owed? Well, Monique says, where's my public apology that you promised me in 2016? The false narrative you perpetuated helped blackball me, costing me tens of millions. Right, because he said, that Monique was difficult, I guess, behind the scenes, which spread like wildfire. And then I guess the folks didn't want to hire Monique no more, allegedly. She also called out Tyler Perry for asking her to promote Precious for free despite preaching about fair treatment. She says, you mentioned being tired of us not receiving the benefits we deserve, yet you asked me to promote Precious for free, which highlights your double standard. she basically said in so many words, "You're a hypocrite, Mr. Perry." Okay. Now, maybe Mr. Perry has learned from his mistakes, because I do hear that Tyler Perry does pay his people very well. I did hear that maybe, he's skimping on the quality of the production. That way the cast and crew and the talent and, I was going to say writers, but I don't think he has writers. But so that the people behind the scenes and on the camera can make, a decent wage. Right? So maybe he's learned from his mistakes. Maybe he's paying his folks and whatnot. But, Monique is saying you're a hypocrite. Now, listen, I feel like reading that, okay, she's making some valid points. She is taking Tyler Perry's own words and flipping it on him and giving us a reason as to why, it's not really adding up. And so I feel like she made a lot of valid points. However, I feel like she is hijacking the moment. Sis, you are hijacking the moment as we are still grieving Angie Stone, rest in peace, for you to air out your own personal grievances again. Because it's not like we haven't heard this before. Okay? So y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation in the comments down below. Let's talk about it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day. Bye.